What's up everybody, Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and here I am in my local comic book shop to bring you all my comic book pull list for the week. Now before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell and all of that good stuff, you know, the stuff that YouTube tells me to tell you to do. So in case you don't know what a comic book pull list is, there's a video right up here where you can go and learn more about that. But basically, it's the comic books that you take home for the week. So before I get into my comic book pull list, I want to let you all know, stay tuned to the end of the video where I will be doing a review of Luna Snow issue number 1 and also Count Crowley issue number 1 as well. This is a new one on Dark Horse Comics, so make sure you stay to the end of the video for that. Those are brought to you by my local comic book shop, and no, they didn't pay for a sponsorship or anything. They're just an awesome shop, and let me read these books so I can bring you guys a review, as well as The Amazing Mary Jane. But I already dropped my review for this video here on the channel, so make sure that you go and check that out, and maybe I'll leave a link somewhere here in this video for you to go check that out as well. So getting into my comic book pull list for the week, starting off, I've got Marauders issue number 1. Now, I've already dropped a review for this one, guys, here on the channel. You guys have to read this issue if you're into the X-Men or just kind of anything that's gone on with Jonathan Hickman's relaunching of the X-Men in the Marvel Universe. You definitely want to check this out. This is a very good comic book. I was quite surprised that I would like it. It would be something I'd be into. I'm not going to add this to my comic book pull list, but I did buy this first issue, and I will probably be doing reviews on the rest of this series going forward. Again, I liked what was going on in this story. Kitty Pryde is just basically off leading a new faction of the X-Men here in this book. Again, it was a very good issue. I think it's one you guys should definitely check out. Next, you know, another reason that you guys should get into your local comic book shops, and I've been talking about these guys, if you're not into reading comics or anything, you're just getting into it, you definitely want to get to pick these things up right here, these Marvel's True Believers. These things are only $1, okay? So you can't beat that price. You know, if you're not into reading or you don't know what to buy, go check these out for only $1. You can't beat it. You could also check out DC Comics. They've been coming out with some dollar comics as well. They've got a few that came out this week also, so you should make sure that you get out and check out your local comic book shop just for that. And also, the next one I have here is a facsimile copy of The Incredible Hulk issue number 1. This is basically a reprint of exactly how it was presented in its original form when it came out back in 1960, who knows when. I don't know, it might have been the 70s, I don't know. But this is an exact reprint of that particular issue. The next one I have here is Fearless issue number 4. Now, this is the end of this series. I believe issue number 4 is it. This is going to be all of, we're going to find out what's going on at this, the strange things happening at this female empowerment summer camp thing that's going on here. Yeah. Again, you know, you guys have probably seen some of my reviews on here, and I don't think I did one for issue number 3, but I will be doing one for issue number 3 and issue number 4, probably coming up shortly this week. The next one I have here is Jane Foster Valkyrie, issue number 4. And, you know, this one has been, you know, for me, guys, like here on the channel, you know, I've seen, like, this one's a little bit silly to me. I don't know, but actually, I enjoyed issue number 3. It was actually pretty good. And it's not the writing or anything. It's just kind of the whole premise of what's been going on in this story. Kind of like, I don't know. But again, this book has actually been pretty good. Issue number 3 I thought was really well done. The art in it has been pretty good. Like I said, the story's been pretty good, but again, it's Jane Foster being Valkyrie. The next one I have here is Ghost Spider, issue number, what is that, issue number 3? Issue number 3 of Ghost Spider here, and I'm going to see, after this issue, I'm going to see if I'm going to keep pulling this issue or not, this series. I'm not really for sure. I haven't liked it as much as I did like the previous series that was Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, that Shannon McGuire was also writing as well. But all in all, it has been terrible. Just not really sure that, you know, I'm really into all that. Like I said, the last series was good. This one, it's okay. It's okay. That's if you're into that sort of thing. You know, it's just another Spider-Man spin-off character. It's Gwen Stacy from Earth 65 coming into the 616 universe, and you know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. The next one I have here is The Amazing Spider-Man issue number, what is this, number 32 already? Number 32, written by Nick Spencer. I've quite enjoyed Nick Spencer's run here on The Amazing Spider-Man. I have no real complaints, other than like now all of a sudden it's tying into Absolute Carnage. I think I'm 1 issue behind here on this series, but I don't know, just kind of the way it's kind of tossed into this event and then out of the event. And actually, The Amazing Mary Jane series actually just kind of spun out of, the events of the stuff that has been going on in the Amazing Spider-Man, in case you have or have not been following that. And that is all my Marvel books for the week. We're going to go ahead and get here into some indies and small press, and here we're starting off with Aftershocks Comics. You Are Obsolete, issue number 2. Now, I still got to do a review for issue number 1 here, but guys, I like this series. I put this one on my pull list, and it's kind of a different story. These kids who are, I don't know, we're going to find out more about them, I'm assuming, in this issue, kind of set out and got this reporter who had basically lost her job and everything due to, I guess you could say cancel culture. And so she was out of a job, so she is coming to this small town to interview these kids. They flew her in and everything. They are using a lot of technology. They got their phones and everything. It's really kind of weird setup, but I don't know. Guess we're going to learn more about it in the second issue. The first issue was pretty good and made me want to read the second issue. The next one I have here is also on Aftershock Comics, and that's a Bad Reception, issue number 3. Now, I did do a review on this one here on the channel recently. You can go back and check that out. It's been a pretty good series. It's written, drawn, colored, lettered, and everything all by the same guy, and that's Juan Doe. And he's been doing a pretty good job over there. He's done a lot of work for Aftershock Comics. And I've got to say, he's been doing a really good job here. Basically, it's about this this couple who are, they're a high-profile couple. They're basically celebrities. One guy, the husband is a writer, a well-known writer, and his wife, Gaia, is a pop star. And they're having this off-the-grid wedding, and so basically they're going to this very remote location, and what they are doing is they're, for 24 hours, they're taking all their friends' cell phones and everything, they're locking them up in the safe, and that's pretty much it. But we can see that there is definitely a murderer on the loose here where they are having their wedding reception at. So it's been a pretty good book so far. I can't wait to read issue number 3. The next one I have here is, you guys know I've talked a lot about Vault Comics here lately. They've got another number 1 that's coming out this week, and I gotta tell you guys, I can't wait to get my eyes on this one and read it, because I've heard a lot of funny things about this book, but that's Money Shot issue number 1. Now this one, like I said, it's on Vault Comics. They haven't let me down yet. This one is basically about some scientists who are conducting experiments and, of course, making money at the same time by having sex with aliens. So are they making porno or are they not? I don't know. But look at that. That cover there is obviously an homage to a Fantastic Four, or not? Yeah, Fantastic Four cover. Let's see. It says right here, British-born and Canadian-raised Mr. Byrne rose to massive prominence in the early 1980s along with writer Chris Claremont and inker Terry Austin. Byrne's delicate yet dynamic pencils propelled the X-Men to the very top of the sales charts. Many of the storylines Byrne helped co-plot and illustrate have, some 40 years later, formed the basis of many of the X-Men motion pictures. And yeah, this one is, okay, yeah, an homage to John Byrne's cover of Fantastic Four, issue number 220. So yeah, that's, I thought that was a cool cover. I don't know. Maybe depending on if I like this or not, maybe I'll do a giveaway on issue number 1 of this. Maybe just the regular cover. So the next one I have here is on Vault Comics as well. Another one I've really liked here, guys. You guys should go check out my reviews on this, and that's Resonant, issue number 4. This series has been really good. I've really enjoyed what's going on in this series. It's a post-apocalyptic series in which basically like this kind of like this evil spirit is taking people over, and it comes in waves, and there are ways of resisting being taken over by this evil spirit as well. So altogether, I've got to say I've really enjoyed this issue. Can't wait to read issue number 4, and this is flying by, guys. We're already on issue number 4. It seems like it was just like a couple of months ago that we got issue number 1. I've really been liking it. Well-written book. The art in it really matches the story and everything that's going on. It might not be for everybody, though, but I've certainly enjoyed it so far. The next one I have here is another one, guys, I've really liked. Vault Comics, right here. Sarah and the Royal Stars, issue number 4. This one's on an issue number 4 as well, guys. And just take a look at that cover. It's just a beautiful cover. This series has been really good too. We can see that Sarah is kind of the leader of her army of people there in Parsa, and she is having to go free these these stars of the constellations and go save them because they are trapped on Earth and the seasons won't change. Her people are living in famine and things are just not very good in her home world right now. So that's what she's going out doing, and it's actually something that had come to her mother as well. It was a mission that her mother was charged with as well, and her mother father is now deceased, and you know, it all kind of plays into a really well-written story. I've really liked this series so far. But that's all I have for my comic book pull list today, folks. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you have on your comic book pull list, and what of these issues would you like to see me do more reviews on? And so now that I'm done with my comic book pull list, I am going to go ahead and get into my review of a couple of these books really quick. So today I'm going to be reviewing Luna Snow issue number 1. This is being published by Marvel Comics. The writer here is Alyssa Wong. The artist is Gang Hyuk Lim, and the letterer is VC's Joe Sabino. The cover artist is In-Hyuk Lee, and you guys know I love his work on the covers, and there are some variant cover artists as well, and just take a look at that cover. I mean, I'm telling you, In-Hyuk Lee does just these great covers. Now, this story right here is about a pop star. She's Luna Snow. And her real name I can't quite remember, but she is basically part of this pop group who we learn basically come to fame, and they rise to fame and everything. They won basically like America's Got Talent, or you know, American Idol, or one of those TV shows like that. And during their one of their performances, there was a bomb getting ready to go off. These people were using this bootleg Stark tech, I guess you could say, and some people had came in and were going to take over these weapons and just hold some people hostage, just do some bad stuff. Well, she ended up getting basically stuck in this freezer. It exploded just like every good hero, and all of a sudden she got ice powers just like Iceman, and she knows how to use them right out the gate, right? Like, she just gets caught in this explosion, and all of a sudden miraculously comes into her powers and miraculously knows how to use them really well as she is stopping these bad guys from taking over this concert venue and arena and things like that. She foils their plans, and basically what we're learning here is that she is being sought out by the basically by Jimmy Woo, who is putting together a team of people with the new Agents of Atlas. So altogether, this was, you know, it's a silly story. It wasn't for me, but, you know, again, you know, I'm still doing this review for you guys because maybe it's something that you might like, something that you might be into. The art in the book was actually, it wasn't too bad. Even, like I said, the story itself is kind of what's a little bit silly, you know, some of the character setup and all that kind of stuff. I'll go ahead and show you some of the art. This is right here where she's caught in the Arctic blast that, you know, freezes her and changes her and gives her powers. So, yeah, and I don't know. Like I said, guys, I know this book isn't for me, but you know, thanks to my local comic book shop here, that's Bases Cards and Comics right here in Lancaster, California. You guys should go follow them on Instagram or even Facebook. Give them a like, you know, tell them I sent you. But thanks to them for letting me read this book so I could bring you guys this review of Luna Snow. Like I said, I know it's not for me, but altogether, it wasn't terrible. Let me know if you read Luna Snow down in the comments below. Now, the next one I'm going to be talking about today is Count Crowley issue number 1. Now, this is being published by Dark Horse Comics, and the writer here is David Dastmalchian. He's an actor. I'm not sure if you guys seen him. He's been in like the Ant-Man franchise. He was one of the guys that worked with X-Con there. He was the one who talked like this, you know. He talked like that, and so it's written by David Dastmalchian. The art is by Lucas Kettner. The colors are by Lauren Aff, and the letters are by Frank Kvetvik. I'm sure I butchered that name. I'm going to go ahead and show you that title page there and everything you may need to know right there. Now, this book was actually pretty good. I did like this one. If I had the funds or anything like that, I would probably continue pulling this one. I may wait for a trade paperback, but you can rest assured that I'll probably bring you guys some more reviews if you guys would like me to on this series right here. But it is just a mini-series. This is 1 of 4. So, you know, that's something I kind of like as mini-series is you can just go in there. You know you're only getting 4 issues. You don't have to commit to an ongoing series or anything like that. Altogether, I thought this book was really, it was pretty well written. The art in it was pretty good. Now, what's going on in this story is, and let's see, what is her name? Jerry Butler is basically she's a news anchor. She's an aspiring news anchor. She probably obviously has bigger aspirations of doing even more out there in the news world. And we can see that she's having, I guess you could say she has a very bad last day of work. and because she ends up getting fired from her job because she's there at the Renaissance Fair, kind of doing this interview with the guy who runs the place, and she kind of throws him under the bus while she's supposed to be doing a profile on this Renaissance Fair. So altogether, it was kind of a funny story. She kind of went off on the guy she was drinking, and we can see that she leads a very fun lifestyle. She likes to drink, she likes to go out and have a good time, and that's something that we get in the story. And after she loses her job, this is a small family TV station, and she ends up losing her job, but it is actually run by a small family, and it's run by her family. And so her brother I'm pretty sure it's her brother, goes ahead and tosses her a bone and says, you know what, at the last minute, I can't have you be on the news anymore, but I've got this other job. So-and-so stopped showing up to work, and we need somebody to host this late night show. And she's like, are you kidding me? This is absolutely ridiculous. And he's like, it might be ridiculous, but this show brings us most of our ad revenue because for some reason people like it. So she ends up reluctantly going ahead and going on to take on this job. It was a late night thing and introducing these movies, much kind of like Elvira used to do. Yeah, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So she goes ahead and reluctantly takes this job. She goes to host this midnight show, and she gets on the set and just completely, she gets into makeup and everything, wardrobe, and she gets there and starts shooting and just kind of bees herself on camera. And a lot of people end up liking it, some people not liking it. The station ends up getting a bunch of phone calls. So basically, she set the ratings through the roof. So maybe she's found her groove. Maybe she's found something that fits her style. And I thought that was very funny. But then at the very end, just the same as the very beginning of the book, we see that she kind of gets put into a situation where she don't exactly know what to do when she is confronted by a wolfman. So, yeah. Like I said, altogether, it was a pretty good issue. I have absolutely no complaints about that. And again, that is Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter on Dark Horse Comics. I don't know. I think it's one you guys should check out. I thought it was actually pretty good myself. Like I said, if it wasn't pulling a lot of books already, I'd probably pull this one as well. And again, that's all I have for this particular review as well. Again, thank you to my local comic book shop right here. That's Bases Cards and Comics in Lancaster, California. I'm telling you guys, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, give them a follow. That's at Bases Cards and Comics, all spelled out in words. Go give them a follow. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, you don't like me or whatever, feel free to give it a thumbs down as well. It's all good. I don't take it personally. But make sure you leave some comments and interact down in the comments below. And while you're at it, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Get out and support your local comic book shop, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.